Okay, today we're gonna go over how to make a Flatpak app and how to approximately submit it to Flathub. Now, I've already submitted to Flathub a couple times, gone through the first stage and the second stage, so I sort of forgot what was done, but I want to get something out there for Flutter developers. So this is a little too simple. The tutorial is a little bit too simple, and I'd like to show how to make a real Flatpak submission, because you want to have it on Flathub, and this is not suitable for a submission, not in my mind. So we also have a Flutter app and submitting to there, and I couldn't find much on that, at least when I tried working and trying to submit my app. And through some discussion, I had a file that was made with Flutter, and I used that as my sample. And sorry about the video. I've been having some technical difficulties with my system, external mic, and so I'm just using a regular headset. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to install Flatpak. You might be coming from another system and just humoring the Linux users. That's fine. So you might not know about Flatpak. You have to read up on that. And then you want to install flatpak-builder, and you want to install this free desktop environment, this SDK. I'll have this link here on the notes of the video. And then it says here, create an app. And here, this is a shell script. And you've probably been through this already. And then this is the YML file. And this is the main file that we'll be working with in this tutorial. Then it goes through some steps about making a Flatpak, and then running the Flatpak and then putting it into a repository. We're gonna actually skip. I think we're gonna maybe skip that step and go directly to install. Let's try looking at the project. So let's go to. This is like my third time making the video, so maybe it'll be a little smoother. This is the project, what we have here. It's an involved project. I have everything zoomed in so you can read what's on there. The project, when it's expanded, is maybe 600 or 800 megabytes. We have a large database. It's a SQLite Flutter app. We have this running on Android. We have about 3,000 devices or users, active devices. Maybe about 600 on Windows, maybe 300 on Apple. And it looks like Flathub has about 300 downloads. I'm not sure how accurate that is. I've never seen that before. And so we have lots of files. And one of the things that you do to build the Linux is you run, I'm just lazy to type, Flutter build Linux release. And so when you run this file, this command, you're going to get, let's go to the Git folder, and you go to the build directory. I'm sorry, here. And go to the build directory. You'll have Linux, and you have x64 release and bundle. So just pay attention here. Build Linux x64 release and bundle, and you'll get these files here. These are the magic files. If you click on it, it will just run, and it'll run your app. And you can actually ship these. And there was an article about Flathub and Flatpak, and he's like, I just shipped this and it was easier. That is true, but you have to maybe install some dependency files as well. And I also do app image, and app images has some faults, especially with Fuse. So the thing with Flathub, if you get Flathub working, it'll just work. And so that's what we all want with Linux. We just want it to run and work. So Flatpak is not so bad. Snap, I tried Snap. Snap is a lot crazier. Yeah, I went to app images, and that was a lot easier. And even the article, the Medium article that I followed, it says if you hated Snap before you tried building one, and now you hate Snap even more. So Flatpak is not so easy, but it's a little easier. App images, quite easy, but there's some things wrong with the Fuse. They're trying to solve this. I don't know if they have already done this. But there are some things that it needs. If you install just Fuse, like in the old school way, there's now Fuse 3, which will break your system, and app doesn't catch that. When you try to reboot, your system won't reboot because it's crashed. So what you want to do is you want to copy these files, okay? And I'll just pretend to copy, and then what I want to do is I want to go to the Flathub directory, and I have a folder that I happen to call TPR. There's going to be bin, icons, then we're going to have an XML file, we're going to have a desktop file. So I go to inside the bin, these are those files. When you make the directory, it'll be empty. And let's delete everything here. Let's delete flatpak-build, shift delete. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a fork of Flathub, because you're making a Flatpak so that you can be a Flatpak that's discoverable, not just so you can tell your friends. So we're going to go over that. So you want to install these things, and we'll talk about the version too. And let's the first thing you want to do is you want to go to Flathub, and you want to go to Flathub here, and you're going to want to fork the project. And there's instructions how to, maybe submissions. It says fork the project, and it says copy the master branch only, and make sure that is unchecked. So let's go back to the fork. You see this thing, copy the master branch only? You want to have that unchecked and create the fork. You're going to choose your owner. I'm already set up for this. And this is part one of the two-stage thing. So the first time you want to submit to Flathub, you go through this step, and then later they'll give you your own sort of project, and you can commit directly to that project. Here you are only given a merge, a pull request, and then when everything works out, they'll send you an email and they'll give you another directory, and I'll show you that. So that's how I got this Flathub directory. And I created a folder called TPR. You can make it anything you want. And in that folder I have a bin, which has those files from my Flutter directory. You should be familiar with those. Then we have icons, which has all the icons. And just follow the format. I'll give you the location of my zip file, my tarball zip. And then we have an XML file, and we have desktop file. What we're going to be working with is the YML file mostly. So let's go into the YML file. So this is the same directory as I showed you before. And they have a YML file here in the tutorial, building your first. They have this, but obviously I have a lot more than what they have. And I have a lot more because someone else showed me a Flutter app which has a YML file, and I just copied his stuff. So we have the app ID. You have to own, when you do a merge, a pull request, they're going to ask you, make sure that you own this organization. When I first started our application, I just picked something based on the monastery, which didn't exist actually. So eventually I'll have to change the Android app and also the Windows as well. In any case, it's done right here. I think they don't like dashes. They like one word or something like that. Maybe camel case. And just put the org free desktop. I don't know what it really does. The version number, when you install the Flatpak-builder, you'll see that it says up here, this is the SDK, and it's version 2308. That matches. If this doesn't match, it's going to say can't find it, and so you just have to make sure that you have the right one installed. So you want to install Flatpak-builder, Flatpak of course, and Flatpak desktop, the SDK. Let's go further. The command is the executable file that gets produced from the project. I double clicked on the project, it opened up. Separate locales, I just put false. I think this is using the drive and this is using the network. If you're not using the network, leave it out, it's better. If you look at my my submission, where is it? Here. So this is the actual app that's located on Flathub. It will say that it's probably safe because we use the network. So if you're not using it, don't put it there. Then then we get into the modules. Again, this is the executable and build system simple. I'm just copying what other people do. And let's talk about this stuff here. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna go local this time. So what you're gonna do is let's go back here. I'm in my Flathub. This directory here, we're gonna compress it, and it's gonna ask us like what we want. And if you can put like a file name here, this is the actual tarball here. And so you want to name it, like new version, blah, blah, blah. So I'm focusing on build number 62 is my main number that I care about. And so you want to compress the file and you'll end up with something like this. And again, we have the bin icons, we have the XML, and we have, I think this is the app manifest file, and this is the desktop. So you're going to have that. And we're telling it we're going to run locally first. We run locally, we point to that file. We also did a shay command on it. So it's one of these, here it is. So we give shay 256 checksum, and we give it the file name, and then it will give us, it'll end with 722. Here it is, and you just copy that here to make sure they match. And they should match. So what this does, I should have named these files differently, but I called it TPR, which is the same. So there is a directive to get this file and this file here, and then name that file TPR. It would have been better if I named it like, I don't know, like archive or something, and preliminary folder or something. But so right now TPR and TPR are the same. So it extracts this into some other location called TPR, and we have to copy, I think that's what it does. We have to copy from that extracted tarball into another folder which says app and TPR. So what we have here is it's copying from TPR, the extracted TPR. It's going to be located somewhere else where it extracts it as part of the build, and it's going to make a new file called a new directory under an app directory. Then what it's going to do, you could just copy all this, you don't really have to understand it so much, and then it's going to make it executable in the app directory, which is that new directory where things are copied. And then it's going to make 2 directories for lib and bin, and it's going to make a link. I think it's called the link file. It's like a shortcut type of file, and what it's going to do is it's going to make a link file association, and with the bin in that for that file, the executable, and it's going to do the same thing with lib SQLite 3, and I believe that this is actually included in the environment, the free desktop environment, but the original one had it, so I'm just copying. Then we have the XML file, and so let's talk about the XML file after we finish this. Let's just do the icons. The icons, you want to just copy these icons to the app share icons high color. So you just substitute your icons with these icons, and you need the right size. And then last is the desktop file. So the XML file is right here, and let's close this here. So the XML file is here, and you can see that we have some preliminary stuff, and then you have the org that like the org. Your app identification, and this is not necessarily the executable name, and I think they preferred me to have a single word without any dashes in it. Then this is like a readable name and a readable summary. Then we have the license, and then we have a description of what it is, and then we have a description of the version number. Then we have like a content rating, like for me it's not an issue, that it's for all audiences. And then we have a home page and help page. My home page for the app is actually the help, which sort of explains the app and how to use it. And for help, I just use the issues URL. Launchable, we have the desktop file, and then we have 3 screenshots, and these are remote URL images based on the website. And then that's it. Now, you can either edit this directly according to your desire, or you can go here, and I'll give you a, let's go to the home, and this is some type of creation tool. I used it to create mine, and maybe I combined it with both, so you can make this as a template, and then you can answer all the questions, and then you can generate this and then compare it with mine and see if that works. Now this XML gets copied into the tarball, so just take note if you're trying to find it. The only thing you're going to find from me is actually a YML file, and that is going to have it's going to have the URL to the tarball, and then you can extract that. You can wget that address, and then you can extract it, and then you can look inside, and then you can copy everything. So when we publish to Flathub, all we do is we give this file, and that's it. or at least with the method I'm using. So we're almost ready to build, but we are ready to build. We're just looking at the desktop file. So let's look at that. So we have this is the desktop, and you can just do the same stuff that I did. The icon is named like this, okay, and it's named after the identifier, and then the exec is the command to run the binary, and this is startup WM class. I think I've done this before. You need that in order to have the icon show when the app is not, on the top layer or something like that, in the tray and in the app tray. And then this is like a human readable name, so that when you go and you type, I think it's still installed. No, it's not installed anymore. Wait. Yeah, it's not installed right now. So let's build it. Let's build the YAML file. And what we're going to do is we're going to do it locally first, and then when we see that it works, we're going to swap out the local with the URL. So it'll take a minute to download with my internet connections. So let's just make sure it's uninstalled right now. So there's nothing installed. Okay, so that's good. And we're gonna do a flatpak-builder user install force clean flatpak-build, and then this is the identifier of the YML file. So I'm going to just run that, but before I run that, I'm going to make sure there are no, there's nothing in the build folder. So I'm going to go to, I'm working in Flathub, and there's no build folder. There will be, and I'm going to just run this, and it's going to do its stuff. So it's finished now. There's all the stuff it does. And it installed it. So if we want to run that program, you can see the icon works now. I can search for it. We're going to launch it from the command line. So this is the command line. I'll have all this for you. So I'm going to launch it. It's going to go through its setup process. So what it's doing is this is just our app, has nothing to do with what you're going to do. But this copies the database. It's a large database. It extracts it, and then it starts populating some of the data for the FTS. And it's just about done. And it works. So that's good. We know it works. Looks like it's running well. If I want to, I can launch it from the command line. Boom. I mean from the menu. It works good from the launcher. So that is good. So the next step is to make sure that it works off the internet and that we have the correct address. And so what I do is I actually have that in my release folders. So if I go here, this is the main project for GitHub, and then let's increase it a little bit in size. And if I go to the releases, what I can do is I can draft a new release, but I have this already built, and I already dropped this file, which is the same as, where are we? Here. This file is already here, and the Shay 256 will match, and all I need to do is run that now. And so instead of going locally, it's going to go off the internet. So I'm going to just save it. Let's get rid of the build directory. just to avoid any problems. Shift delete. And now if I run that command again, it'll download off the internet. For some reason it doesn't seem like it's downloading. Maybe it will do. Let's see if that wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe I have hidden files. Yeah, so let me just delete these. So it didn't download it because it already has it. The checksum already matches. So let's try that again. It should download it now. So yeah, if you're testing and you already have it, you might want to download, you might want to delete those files. And what I did was I did Control H to delete the hidden files as well. So the internet is a little slower than it was earlier today. And while this is going, it'll do the same thing. While this is going, let's explain the Flathub, the fork. So so if I go to my repository, let's just go here. I already have a fork, and if I go to my repositories, I will have a Flathub repo. Okay, and this is my forked Flathub. And so the first time you do this, you want to do a merge request, you want to do a pull request. You go pull request, and then you do new pull request. And you only do this once or twice until you're successful. They might complain that you don't have the right XML file attached or some other things. And I had some trouble. And when this gets successfully done with a pull request, then they're going to give you your own sort of writable, committable repository. And this is this one here. This is the second step. And there's only one file here. So I have the README and I have the org.americanmonk.TipitakaPaliReader. So what I do is when I'm preparing something, this worked fine. You'll see that it downloaded and then it did the same stuff that it did with a local file. And so when I'm ready to get this working, what I do is I copy this YAML file. I copy that. So I don't need any other files because everything is on the release directory of my GitHub. And then I go to, I'll copy that, then I'll go to my private area that they gave me after I passed, and I'll go here, and there's only one file here, and I'll paste it over. I'll just paste it right over here, and then I'll commit it and I'll push it because I have write access to that. And then what I'll do is I'll do a merge request. And so I actually did that and I got something that looked like this. And so that's what it is. You do a pull request, and then it builds it, and then it says, you know, it was successful, and then I do a merge pull request. And I did that, and I'm just basically waiting for this to complete. Anyways, I would make a new pull request and submit it, and then I would get put, eventually it would just come up on here. And that's basically it. It's still running the old version. In a couple hours it'll show that something was submitted. So you should see 62 when you look at this video. And that's it. So in review, you're only doing the YAML file. You're going to have the your directory that you have. For me, I called it TPR. I could have called it TPR source, and I could have called the other thing like TPR builder or something like that. And this has the bin, and when I built the Flutter files, I took from the bundle, which has data, lib, and the executable. And then I have the icons. You're going to have to build this. There's not much of a shortcut for that. You're going to have your desktop file here, and you can just follow the format, and the XML file. And all this is in that tarball file that's in my release directory. You can search, and I'll give you the location of where this YAML file is, and you can just pull it apart, and you can grab this URL, and you can pull that apart, and you can, make your own. It's open source. You can even file the same one. You can call it your own if you want. But you can pull this apart and use it as sort of a model for your future submissions. I hope this helps. I had a lot of trouble. I'm not so intuitive for this, and someone helped me, and I said, okay, I'll try to make a video. There's nothing around that I could see for Flutter and making a Flutter app, a Flatpak, and having it on Flathub. So I hope this helps. I hope it's useful. I haven't seen much out there. I just only saw one video of someone doing the hello world thing, and it didn't really help me at all. And then I would have to read all the documentation, and it's in a situation, a format that I'm not used to, and so it's very difficult for me to sift through it. So I hope this helps, and I hope more open source software can be available to people in Flatpak, or app image is also easy, a lot easier. And but I sort of self-host it myself, the app image, and it looks like it's getting a lot of airplay. It's got 300 downloads from Flatpak, which is quite a lot. So I hope this helps, and I hope this helps humanity or whatever. So sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.